Yeah, so before we do any demonstration or anything like that, I'd like to talk to you guys over it and talk about it and stuff like that before we try it out.
He's in Orlando.
All right, give us just 1 minute. We're missing one person.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, take your time.
Yeah, I was born in Orlando.
No way.
Way.
So you're doing it.
You're gonna do it, Melissa, so you're our teacher.
But he's gonna give us some directions.
He's gonna give some directions.
Okay, we're all here now.
Okay, great. So I'm Ali. I'm your sim specialist guy.
Hey, Ali.
Hello. So I read it over, and thank you guys for responding quickly on the notes. So I'm trying to figure out that Sean was seen making out with Maria under the stairwell. Okay, so I'm old, so I had to figure out what kick was, which was awesome. I was like, oh my God, my daughter's in the other room at 10. She probably knows it, and I don't. Okay, so apparently there's a message that's been going around kick. Okay, so this will be, I guess, how do you want to start the class? Like, is the teacher going to try to teach an actual class and this is going on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so will it be up to the teacher to just make something up that's what they're going to teach?
Yes.
Or are they going to do something like, are they going to do something generic like, all right, we're doing photosynthesis today?
Yeah, it's gonna be very generic.
Okay. Okay, great. So then as soon as the classroom starts, everyone, I guess, is a buzz of this message.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct?
That's right.
Okay. So how long of a scenario do you want it to be with each participant? We say about 5 minutes?
Yes, 5 minutes is
Okay.
Oh,
great.
each participant, like
Each lateral entry teacher.
So
Right.
like my session will last 5 minutes.
Right. Anytime somebody comes up, it'll be 5 minutes every
Yes.
time.
Okay, that'll be about right.
That's long enough.
Okay.
You know, it may not even take that long.
I know.
I mean, you really,
Maybe let's start. Want to start low?
Let's
Like-
just start because we're just trying it. That way, all of us can try it.
Right.
Let's do
Okay.
2 minutes.
Hello.
2 minutes is very quick. I will let you know that right now.
3, Ollie.
Okay. Sorry, I misheard you. You're right. 3 would probably be.
What is that?
Okay, that's totally my fault.
No,
My
because
fault.
we're just all trying to experience it. It would be cool for us all to try it.
Well, I'm not saying right now. I'm saying once you start doing this, and then we're actually
they're
doing
going to
it.
be longer
Five.
than that. At least
Give me
5.
five.
Okay.
Give me five.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
3 to 5
okay.
minutes is pretty good.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we need to write that. When we're writing a vignette, it needs to say length of time.
Not necessarily. That's something we can clear up. Like when we start our session, let's just say you have a lot of students. You know, like, look, we want to get at least, you know, let's say 8 of these students in. All right, well, then we'll have to cut it down a little bit. We'll have to go 3 minutes.
Okay.
So that's something we could talk about in the very beginning when we first talk.
That's gonna be a question.
Um,
Put that
because-
in the notes when they schedule the session as well, right?
What's that?
They can put that in the note when they schedule the session as well, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Normally, when since you guys weren't there for the quick facilitator training thing, when we start off and it is in the session paused, I will speak to you guys before you bring in your teachers, and just quickly check the tech, make sure that the kids are working, make sure the voice changes, things like that, and then I like to go over just to make sure. Here's the scenario.
Yeah.
Here's how long they're going, how many kids, just so that we're all on the same page. We do
That's
a quick.
great.
Okay.
That's
Boom.
great.
And then once we get everything going, everything's working, then we say, all right, you can bring in your teachers. After that point, I can't talk to you as Ali. I'll only talk to you as the kids.
Okay, perfect.
And I noticed that there are some things in here. There's limitations on the kids.
Okay.
2 of them can stand up. Sean and Maria can stand up. And that's it.
Okay.
The other kids can't stand. They can't
Okay.
move. They can't leave the room. And there is a great code phrase which Sean will say. The principal says we can't do that. So if they ask us to do something that we can't do, like switch seats, the principal says we can't do that. That's your
Okay.
cue to go. All right, they can't do it. So
Okay.
so I noticed that you had CJ with her arms crossed with her phone in her hand. She can't do that.
Okay.
She can get her arms crossed, but her phone won't be in her hand.
Okay.
So she can be angry. She can be upset, and all those things, and I can convey that with many different gestures that she can do. But that particular one just can't happen.
Okay.
And so your overall goal, you're going to have a conversation with Sean. You have a one-on-one with Sean, correct? And a one-on-one with CJ.
That's correct.
Is that what you want?
That is
Okay.
what I want.
Okay. So just to let you know, when you let your teachers know, if they want to talk to Sean, I need a cue. So it's like, Sean, can we, something like, Sean, I'd like to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
When that happens, then I can zoom in.
Okay.
And that's what that looks like. So that means that's a one-on-one. So if you'd like to go to CJ, we'll go there. The rest of the class is not listening. So that will be your one-on-one.
Okay.
Okay.
But other than that, they'll just stay in this unless you have the one-on-ones.
Okay.
Alrighty. And so let me make sure.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, they won't be able to, pass the cell phone back and forth and things like that. But, Kevin and CJ can be laughing. Kevin would probably be more of a way to go, Sean. Nice work. What would you like Maria to be doing? Because this is obviously affecting her as well.
I don't know yet.
Oh, yeah, it is affecting. See, we just wrote Maria in right at the last minute. We didn't really think about her, but it is.
Do you want a different student outside of the classroom?
That's probably better that it doesn't affect
Okay.
Maria.
Okay.
You see what he's saying? We put in that the message is about her and him and Maria, but we haven't written in anything that Maria's doing.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be best to get outside of the classroom. That way it doesn't get too muddled. Got a lot of things going on. So I would actually put this behavior level up to a level 3, to be honest with you,
Okay.
instead of a level 2. Here's the thing. Will these teachers, will they have any experience being in the simulator before?
No.
No.
No, they'll
Okay.
be like us right now.
Okay. And I know that the guy that completely refused to play along, that's going to happen. There's going to be people that are really nervous and they don't want to do this.
Okay.
So we need to, we might want to keep it at the 2 then, instead of a 3. I won't get 2 because it does freak people out talking to a screen and the avatars. And then maybe if we do it again, then we can ramp it up to a 3 and a 4 to
Okay.
where, Sean's super, upset. CJ is laughing,
Yeah.
Kevin's doing all those things.
Yeah.
Especially if there's
And
an
I,
audience.
and I want buy-in from the beginning, so
You want it to be a positive.
I
You want to
do.
see some success.
I do.
And
I
so
do.
Right.
That's
Or
a-
word will spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do
the
not,
Mursion thing.
you don't want to go there.
I think
Exactly.
that's what to think about with your scenarios too then, because you don't want to start them out in a power struggle situation scenario. You want to start them out in something that maybe is a lot, it's realistic, but a little bit less threatening.
Right, and you want them to have some success. You want them to have hits,
Yeah.
not misses.
Yes.
And we have, the scenario that we do with our candidates is just a new unit scenario where they're just introducing a new unit and the kids are relatively docile. And it just gets them familiar with the scenario and used to it, basically. And it's not a negative experience and
Right.
and then you could do that as like a first one, maybe 5 minutes or
Yeah.
so. And then the
For
next,
engagement. And,
right,
yeah.
and then have them come back a second time to do something more difficult.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Yeah, because this is a second time scenario.
Okay. Okay. We're kind of.
We're a little overachieving. Same thing.
Hey, I know that. I could tell. I could tell. So yeah, then we would make this one a level 3, I think, just because of the emotional content. Sean being upset.
Yeah, and the defiance and,
Yeah. And
Okay.
And a
Kevin
personal
having fun with it.
message, and I was-
okay.
Yeah. So I think I would make this one a 3. But yeah, I agree with Christine that the first one should be just a classroom manager, and maybe introducing a new standards or whatever, anything you want to do. And the kids are they're not completely, angels. They do have a couple of things, but like if CJ were to break out her phone, the teacher doesn't have to have a power struggle with her. And you say,
Yeah.
CJ, we don't have technology. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
And then it goes
Okay.
away.
Good, good.
So
Which is okay, so here's the thing I'm wondering about this particular scenario, because we put down in there that a hit would be that the teacher does refer to the policy and does remind students of the policy and they put their phone away. That would be a hit. But you're saying that you're going to ramp up or play up based off what behavior level we put on there.
Exactly. So if you've got a 3, I'm not saying like she will win, or whomever the teacher is will win. They'll get a win, but it'll take a little bit. Like they can do that. Here, I can show you actually what it'll look like.
Okay.
So I'll break out CJ's phone, and you do it as if it's going to be a hit. Like
Okay.
you're doing the right way. Hold on, let me.
All right. Look at that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, look at that.
I know.
All right, CJ, let's go ahead and put our phone up and focus back on the lesson.
Yeah, real quick. I'm just making a quick tweet. Someone had a picture of Justin Bieber's abs, and oh my goodness, I have to retweet that.
Okay, let me talk to you for just a second, CJ. All right, CJ, I understand how important your technology is to you, but we're going to put it away before the end of the lesson, okay? Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, just real quick. Like sometime, what if something important happens?
I understand. I'm going to give you a choice, though. You can either give me the phone now, and I'll take it and have it the rest of the day, or you can go ahead and put it up, okay? Thank you, CJ.
Okay,
I
fine.
appreciate that. All right. Okay, so
Yeah.
I can hear the eyes rolling.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But CJ, it's not when we take her in the hallway.
That's right.
Yeah. So CJ.
What was it say?
Put Janet Blaybomb on her. We had a conversation at lunch yesterday about Janet.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, paddling.
Okay, that was so cool, though.
I love it. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a little hint when you tell your teachers.
Yeah.
All they have to do is take one tiny step forward. That's
I'm
it.
sorry, but I'm coming to CJ.
You don't
That's
know
fine.
this.
I will only see. All I can see is your name tag
That would be my baby.
and your baby. So, like you came so close, I felt it kick. I'm not gonna lie. It was right there.
You're welcome, Ali. You're welcome.
So, and that's the thing about this. I get to see everyone. So that's another thing that I will immediately do, especially in their first time in. I will make some sort of visual connection from one of the students. It could be Kevin's like, "Hey, I'm really digging that shirt you got. I like the flower print. It's nice," so that they realize I am reacting to you. Because a lot of times they don't. They go, "Wait, they can see us." So that's a thing. So anytime you let them know, just like, look, facial expressions. If they roll their eyes.
Hey, you're going. Hey, Melissa. Here's Melissa.
Sorry, I
There
flipped it
you
over
are.
so she could see the camera.
Yeah,
Okay, let me
Okay.
say, I was up there. I get it, yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a little too close.
Melissa.
Roll right up on with
He's like, Ollie's like, hey, look, you can back up a little bit.
Is that chocolate chunk on your blouse?
Oh, you're having a girl. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
So yeah.
Yes.
sounds out.
We love Allie girl.
So that would be the type of thing with CJ. With that, with a level 3, she comes back, and actually a level 3 would be a little bit more drastic. Like you might want to let it go a little bit before you have that one-on-one.
Uh-huh.
It's like, look, I've asked you once, push back. Ask you again, push back. Okay, you know what? We need to have a conversation.
Okay.
Let's come one-on-one, and that's when it brings her down, and you're de-escalating the situation.
All right.
So I would allow it to ramp up a little bit, because she can do silence as leverage too. She can just stare at you,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and say, "Are you talking?" And she gets a lot of attitude and stuff. So I would let it ramp up a little bit before you get that one-on-one.
Uh-huh.
No, Melissa just jumped right.
No, I'm like, baby, we need to talk.
That's
I mean,
right.
this is
Put that baby right in her face.
That's right.
yeah, this is a first grade teacher perspective, okay? We're coming outside to the carpet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay,
CJ's
so-
in middle school, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try this scenario.
Okay.
I'll make up a name. We'll go with Holly. I don't know, Christine, Mandy. Who was making out with Sean?
Oh, it's Maria.
No, it's not Maria.
Oh, it's not gonna
anymore.
be Maria anymore.
It's Tracy.
And there you go.
You know what? We could even make it a random girl. We can just say they don't even know.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so
Maybe
then
just
Another
say-
school.
Just
Another
yeah,
school.
they saw Sean making out with some girl,
okay.
Yeah.
and then Sean can be upset about that.
Sean's a player.
So I'll go to pause screen,
Okay.
and so we'll begin the scenario. When you say begin scenario, it'll pop up, and things will already be alive.
Is this the second one? This is the first one?
We're still.
So we're working on the second time.
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So when,
Okay, so-
he's gonna pause the screen, and so when y'all are ready, one of you start scenario, and that's when he'll bring it up. That's what you're gonna do when you're running the scenario.
Okay.
Start
Scenario.
Oh my god. Oh well, maybe we can work together.
All right, boys and girls. I'm sorry, boys and girls aren't said in middle school.
Class.
Okay, class. Let's.
Oh man, Sean, that's crazy, man. You were making out with some girl. That's awesome, dude. Good for you, man. That's cool, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. I'm getting used
I wasn't making out with anybody. That's so crazy. I don't know why
All right,
people are
guys,
thinking that.
eyes right here. Give me 5. Okay, so yesterday when we were discussing science is cool by our poster up there, we were looking
Oh my
at the
goodness.
elements on the chart.
Sean, I didn't even know you had it. There's no way he was making out with someone. That's ridiculous. No, girl, I saw that. I saw that on the thing. You said he was making out with somebody.
Okay. Ali, just give me a second, okay? I got to get back in the teacher role because I'm watching.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I can't help it!
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Take it down a notch.
Take 2.
All right, take
That's
2.
right,
Yeah,
take
let's,
2.
let's
Okay.
pause it. Let's pause it again.
All right, somebody give her notes.
Chocolate chunks.
That is
Come on.
unreal.
It's crazy,
I mean,
right?
like I want to listen to them.
No.
It's not Fraggle Rock. You can do this. Come on.
That's awesome. Okay, all right.
You got
Okay,
this.
got
Teacher
this.
mode.
Ready?
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Deep
Okay.
breath.
Start scenario, please.
Okay, so yesterday in our science lesson, we
You're
were.
making out with some girl, Sean. That's awesome, dude.
I like the way Maria is paying attention and working on her assignment.
Yo, but teach, Sean got a girlfriend. He's making out with girls and stuff.
right,
No, I'm
let's-
not. No, I'm not. I don't have a girlfriend. I wasn't making out with
have a
anybody.
seat. Have a seat,
Wasn't-
Sean. It's okay.
Wait,
Have a
wait.
seat.
I didn't.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's focus in on our science lesson for today. Who can tell me what we learned yesterday regarding the element?
I learned that Sean has a girlfriend and that he was
Alright,
making out.
CJ.
Hold on, let me see.
CJ.
It says it right here. I got it on Kick. He was making out.
CJ.
Oh, he was making at the mall.
CJ, that's enough. Go ahead and put your phone up. You remember the policy in our classroom, no technology unless we say so.
Yeah, but I needed to give you an example of what actually happened,
I don't
so you
need to
knew
hear the
both
example,
sides.
but I appreciate that. All right.
Yeah, teach.
I
You need to
really
know both
like the
things.
way
You need to know where the
Maria
information
focuses
comes from.
on
Sean got a
that.
girlfriend. We all happy for him. Way to go, Sean. I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, okay.
Why are they doing that? I don't have a.
Sean,
Girlfriend.
come here and let me talk to you for just a minute, please.
Okay.
I know, I understand. Sean, I understand. But you have to understand too that they're just making this up. Don't worry about what they're saying. Focus in on the lesson and let's move ahead, okay? I'm gonna talk to
Yeah,
you.
but it's really hard because I don't have a girlfriend. I wasn't making out with nobody.
I understand. I completely understand. Why don't we you want to take 2 or 3 minutes to go outside and calm down, cool out, and come back in?
Well, the principal says I'm not allowed to leave, so I have to stay here.
That was the key word.
Yeah, here you are.
Didn't
Okay.
didn't
All right.
didn't that guy go over that? I thought she would remember that.
Yes, I'll leave you whatever that I appreciate that. Okay, Sean. Very well. Well, let's just take a couple minutes right here. Calm down. I'm gonna go talk to the boys in the
Okay.
back. It's gonna be cool. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Who are their names?
Right here, right here, right here.
Right here.
CJ and Kevin.
Which
Can I talk
one?
to you guys for
Kevin.
just a second, please?
Which one? Which one?
Oh, CJ. Kevin. Kevin.
All right.
Hey, Kevin.
What you need, teach?
Oh, okay, we're not gonna talk like that, okay? Let's go ahead and get back in our teacher-student mode, all right, Kevin? Listen, I understand you got a message, I understand you and CJ are passing something back and forth. This is not the time for that, you know it. You wouldn't want somebody doing that to you. Go ahead.
No, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got a girlfriend.
Does it have anything to do with science?
Yeah, it's a connection. It's a love connection. That's science. That's chemistry.
Well, you know what? Thank you for that connection. I'm proud of you for coming up with that. But I need you to set the tone, okay? Go ahead and get yourself set. Give yourself a minute or two and calm down, or I'm gonna have to ask you to bounce out. And I don't want to do that. I need you in here with me. All right?
Look, I wasn't meaning no disrespect, Teach. I just,
understand.
you know what? I got it.
All right.
I'm good.
Thank you so much. All right, CJ. Thank you. Thank you for putting
What?
this up. I appreciate it. Listen, we need to get our focus back, okay? We're wasting time. We got lots to do. You ready?
Yeah, I guess. I
All
mean,
right. Thank you, CJ. All right, guys. So as we were stating yesterday, we went through the science elements of something. CJ, put up. I'm just kidding. Ali, I'm not really meaning that.
I love it. I love it. That is so
real.
That is so real.
Holy cow!
You're sweating.
That is so. That is so real.
You flustered, you good?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. It's because
ready to go?
in relationships, like I feel like I know those kids, and I would go over there and say,
Don't make me call your Don't make me call your
I want to call him baby.
Here's a suggestion.
Yeah.
How would you feel about this? How would you feel about the message not coming out until the middle, like a couple of minutes in? CJ gets it. So it doesn't
Okay.
start off so chaotic.
Yeah.
So
That'd be good.
we start off just kind of, you're introducing, maybe there's a couple of little behaviors, you get Ed involved, you get Maria involved or whatever, a couple little things, and then CJ gets it and starts talking to Kevin about it. They start laughing, Teach, and then that's when Kevin can jump up. Sean, you got a girlfriend? Oh man, I just read it right now. You got a girlfriend.
Yes, I want to see this.
Probably much more realistic
Yeah.
too. And then for a teacher doing the role, I, as a teacher, would feel more comfortable moving into a lesson. That's a comfort level for me, and then something else hits. So that's probably
But that's probably more realistic.
Oh, that is
Classes
so real.
started, then they get
then
the
they're
message.
getting the message because they've got their phone out and they're not supposed to.
Exactly.
Start scenario.
Okay.
All right, next person.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
so-
Ali.
No,
You're
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 good.
very
Go-
welcome.
That's
You're already
it.
up.
Keep going,
Thank
Melissa.
It's
All right.
Eaton's turn.
Eaton Chuan is in here. Eaton Chuan.
All right.
Rocket.
Holy
Thank you.
cow, that is awesome.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Isn't that great?
Do we need to go sit over there?
Oh, you can sit
You can
anywhere.
sit right
You
there.
can sit anywhere. We just sat here.
Thanks, Ali.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ali, it's been real fun.
It's been nice getting to know your baby. Just so you know, when you officially start to zoom in, you can zoom in and have a one-on-one conversation with each avatar. All that you have to do is let me know that. Let the avatar know that. So you say, Sean, can I talk to you for a second? And then just take a small step forward. You don't have to go all the way up, but just take a small step forward. And if if you say, Sean, can I do that? And then Sean will zoom in. And that just means the rest of the class can't hear. This is a one-on-one conversation. And then we can zoom back out to the classroom, which is a good thing whenever, especially when CJ is breaking out her phone and you're about ready to throttle her, but you can't because of the whole law thing. But you can do that, zoom in, get her to calm down, and have that one-on-one conversation. So I'm looking over the performance objective. The teacher will need to focus on students' attendance. So we have to examine that because CJ can text, but she can't really text Kevin because Kevin doesn't have a phone. CJ's the only one with a phone. And Kevin doesn't have earbuds listening to music. And this is basically their scenario. This is their normal. This is their neutral, I guess. So the papers will always be on there. The pencils will always be there. And then they write, Maria will write, that's their basic neutral. So what is the overall goal for this scenario? Is it classroom management? Is it?
Yes, classroom.
Okay. Well, then this is easy for you then. If you are primarily focusing on classroom management, then all we need to say is this is a classroom management scenario. and then you set the level. So that just tells me that I need to make the scenario alive. Sean is going to interrupt a lot. He's super hyper. So he's got he's never been diagnosed with ADHD, but he's that kid. So he's going to raise his hand. He's going to interrupt. He's going to start talking without raising his hand. He's going to raise his hand and then start talking before you call on him. That's his distraction. That's his thing. Ed gets tired. He starts to yawn. Kevin is just fun. He'll start beatboxing. CJ breaks out her phone. Maria shuts down. Like, basically, you have to get her engaged. So what with a classroom management thing is we don't necessarily have to be as specific as they're speaking to CJ about Star Wars. I'll just start talking. Yeah, I could just make the classroom alive and then go off of whatever the teacher says. If she wants to focus on CJ or CJ's cell phone, then we'll have that out. If she needs to focus on Sean making sure that the classroom norms and raises his hand, we'll focus on that. How does that sound to you guys?
Okay.
Good.
So then, I'm gonna look at this. Okay, so then you have at the end is just the cell phone policy. You wanna have a one-on-one with CJ. Is that like your challenge number 2?
Yes.
Okay, so then what we can do is we can model this as just a classroom in the very beginning. You're going to teach a generic lesson on, I don't know, photosynthesis, Romeo and Juliet, whatever you want.
Well, the first scenario is helping beginning teachers understand how to enforce their procedures, like they've been.
Okay, so they're setting up the classroom norms and procedures and stuff.
Right.
Well, they've already set them up.
They've been in school for a week, and now the students are supposed to know that when they come in, they're supposed to like unpack their stuff, get started working, and they're not.
Okay, so I guess that's what I mean, right? Like, so with this class, whatever lesson they're going to teach, and it doesn't have to be a lesson, like that's just their goal for the day. The teacher comes in, all right, today we're going to talk about photosynthesis, but that's when the classroom, they're not following the procedures that they've set up. I.e., Sean's raising a hand, talking out of turn, CJ's breaking out her phone, Kevin is, beatboxing or doing whatever. But we need to have the teacher that's going to come in and try to teach and do this needs to have some kind of lesson or know that that's what they're going to do. Like, it's just not going to start and classroom norms. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they'd have to come in and introduce, like, all right, class, here we go. Today we're going to talk about this, as opposed to today we're going to talk about, I'm going to focus on you guys not paying attention. So they just need a subject, I guess, the teacher when they come into the simulation.
Introduction to a new unit.
Yeah.
And then just say, all right, guys, hey, remind me, what do we need to do in the beginning of class?
Or it could be as simple as the teacher coming in and saying, you have, like we said, counting backwards from 10, and then I expect you to be working on your bell ringer.
Right.
Which is what we had talked about. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So with that, I would need to know what those policies are. Me personally, I need to know what the classroom norms are for each kid so that I can focus on those.
Gotcha.
So if you could send those to me, that'd be great.
What part of that would it go under?
That would be
materials.
Oh.
Oh, so you actually need us to give it. See, I was thinking materials were what the beginning teacher would need.
So materials is what he needs.
I mean, it can
Pointing
be
to the
both.
sky.
It can be both. I mean, it just, the materials are for the interactor and the teacher.
Okay.
And so how do you link it? I mean, how do you include it?
Just, type it down at the bottom.
You copy and paste it,
Insert it,
or
copy, paste it, insert it.
Because he sees this, correct?
Yes.
yeah.
Or could it be part of the challenge where they say the students are not following the classroom norms, which are?
You can put it there too if you'd like.
Just somewhere so you get it.
Exactly.
I think it'll be easier just to go up to the challenge.
I changed performance subjective for challenge 1. Is that correct?
Let me read it. The students are engaged.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
So basically, the idea is that that she expects that the kids, after a minute, are working on the bell ringer so that she can go over it and then begin class, and that's not happening, even though she's taught the kids that.
Right.
Okay.
So you kind of set the teacher up for this. You say, this is what's going on.
I don't.
Okay.
You do.
Yeah, that's what I mean, me as or us or whoever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you will let them know, hey, here's you're trying to teach a classroom. They
That's my
may or may not.
that's another word.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play rock, paper, scissors to see who goes?
Is that what he's waiting for? What is he?
And so what we'll no, I'm just reading over and stuff. I'm looking over and so what we will do when we rehearse it and workshop it, in my head, we'll say begin scenario. It'll start in session, pause, and we'll say begin scenario. I'll have them just talking, just random, like you can hear it now. It's basically their parent share. So there's noise going on. There's something going on. They're just there. They're talking. So they'll just be in that, and then that'll give the teacher immediately something, a sign. They're not really paying attention. They're not really following what you want.
Right.
So then you got to bring their attention in, focus on what they want to do, and during that time, that's when the misbehaviors of not following what they have set, the parameters will start to happen. You'll start seeing Sean doing that, CJ with a phone. CJ, if we want that to be the second challenge, I'm going to hold off on CJ until we do a couple of different things with like Sean and Ed and Kevin, and then I'll break out CJ's phone a little bit further into the scenario. That way we can have that one-on-one with CJ, and that's the second challenge. And forgive me, I don't remember. You guys did or did not have the facilitator training? Not yet?
They haven't had it yet.
Not yet? Okay. So with the level being a level 2, which is great. It's great, especially with this being their first time. This will probably be their first time in the simulator, this lesson right here. Or will the first one be the setting up the classroom norms?
This is the first one.
This will be their first one. They've already set up classroom norms. Okay, now they're doing this. Okay. Then level 2 is great. With the different levels, you're not going to get a lot of pushback. You'll get some pushback, but you're not going to get a lot. Level 1 and level 2, kind of a low. They're just kind of, they'll give you, CJ will break out her phone and then give you a reason why she has her phone and has to have her phone, but isn't going to really engage in a power struggle with the teacher.
Can the first challenge be a level 2 and the second challenge be a level 3? Or
No, we need it to stay the same. We needed to keep it the same throughout.
Maybe later in the year we can change it.
Yeah, you can ramp up the whole lesson later on. But for challenge 1 and challenge 2, because a lot of times challenge 1 or challenge 2 comes in very quickly right after challenge 1. So it's just
You'll get a feel of it once you run through it. You'll see.
Yeah. So we want them to do their classroom norms and procedures. Can you give me a handful of what those procedures are just right now?
Be in your seat, not talking.
Supplies out.
Yeah, supplies out, working on whatever the bell ringer is on the board, engaged in their work.
Okay. So, and that's primarily it. That is it raising your hand, don't interrupt, anything like that?
Would be like if you were teaching.
This is just the beginning of class.
So is this too small? Have we made the challenge 1 too short?
Well, at the beginning of class, only because there's a limit on what they can do. Like it looks like they are doing what they're supposed to be doing
Right.
when they're in their neutral. So like we can start off with them, you know, in either a laugh or parent share where they're just talking,
Maybe we can
Like that.
work
and
together.
slowly they'll start to come out as the teacher gets them to do that. But once that happens, you know, they're going to go right to doing their neutral poses,
We
which is
also want the
writing.
teacher to kind of review the procedures as part of this challenge one.
Okay, great. Because that actually works out great, because then as soon as we start off, if we start off with them talking or laughing or whatever, that prompts the teacher to go, okay, we need to review what our procedures are.
So is the facilitator the teacher that's really doing the stuff?
No, the facilitator is the one who's running the session.
Which would be
That'd be like a coach, like us.
Okay, so we're gonna have to have a beginning,
come in?
we're gonna have to get a beginning teacher out of the, like, teacher talk session. I guess.
Yes,
We would have to work
one
with
of
them
your
ahead of time.
beginning
Yeah.
teachers or
To do this.
Well, I think they could. I don't think we'd have to work ahead too much. We would set up the scenario,
Yeah.
and then they would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually you want to give them like the vignette part, just a little background, and then they, so like,
I think we should introduce them to the characters the first
Yeah.
day and that kind of stuff.
one of your,
I think I lost audio.
no,
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay, there we go. Here's a suggestion. If this is going to be the very first time these people have ever been in a simulator and ever seen the simulation, what might be a good idea is to have the facilitator or someone do a quick demo so that they can see the kids and see what's going on. So it can be a quick 3-minute,
They've never seen it before, and then all of a sudden they have to be like.
I'm going to start the scenario. Hey guys, how you doing? And make it seem like generic, like it's the first day of school. It's like, okay, kids, I just want to get to know you guys. Can you tell me your name and a little bit of, and one thing about you, what you did this summer. And then we can go around and you can see Sean, you know, you can see his personality being hyper, talk about his dog Chewy, who's named after Chewbacca. You can go to Ed, and he's very polite, and you know he speaks a little slower, but he's very smart. He loves basketball. And then you get each one of their personalities, so that it brings the tension level a little down for the teachers that are going to be going in to actually participate.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And we can have those cards out too. So we can
do
those
the
cards
whole
on
group.
board.
or even like the name place up like that. Like
Oh,
over here,
perfect, yes,
like this,
gotcha.
so that's the order that they're in, so.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Just look over, you just look over there.
That's Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect, I get that. Yeah, that's good.
And so all you need to know, and this is just since you're here, but we'll talk more about this in the facilitator training, is that you know the limitations of the avatars they can't really do. Sean is always the person that lets you know that. Sean will say, the principal says we can't do that.
Yeah.
And that is your cue. That's just him telling you we can't do that physically. They want Sean to get out of the room. All right, Sean, I want you to go to the bathroom. Principal says I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom. So
That'd be exactly.
things like that. All right, so who would like to try this?
Miss Turner.
No.
Yeah.
You're the assistant superintendent.
Yeah.
You're the assistant superintendent.
You have to model for us.
That's right.
You wrote the grant, baby.
And we support you.
Oh, Lord. You're amongst friends. No judgment here.
Yeah, we would not laugh.
No, because we don't want to be up there doing it anyway. We're behind you.
Hey, why is the camera over there? Ollie,
Oh, I guess Christine moved it so I could see everyone.
I mean,
So we got the camera and everything.
What about now?
I mean, for us.
Oh, wait, hold up. You got it on remote?
Huh?
Your camera's on remote?
No,
I thought you just pushed something and the camera moved.
I did.
So it's remote controlled.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a remote. I mean, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is
Man,
that
y'all
too-
fancy.
Is that too close? Like, or
A
is
little bit.
that-
It's a little zoomed in. I could tell what time it was on a watch.
What
time it was on her watch.
about now?
That's good. That's good.
I wish we could see what he sees.
Too much fun going on here. Last time I was in here, I had fun too.
Okay, so I'm going to you've seen the avatars, correct? You've interacted?
Just what you just showed us.
Oh, you haven't met them.
Not other than what you just did.
Oh, okay. Let me introduce you to the avatars first so that you get an idea.
Yeah, I mean, I saw what you just did with us.
I don't know if they do
Yeah, but you didn't really meet me. Like, my name is Sean. Hi. That's what I'm saying. God, these teachers are crazy. So my name is Sean, and I love Star Wars. And I have a dog named Chewie. She's named after Chewbacca. Yeah. So that's me. Oh yes, ma'am. My name is Ed. I love basketball, and when I grow up, I want to be an Air Force pilot like my Uncle James. That's cool. Yes, yeah, that's it, man. He's awesome. My name is Kevin. I'm the stylish one in the group. What? I love having a good time. I love music. I'm digging that outfit. Teach. I love the peach. Is that peach? Or is that called coral? Coral. I can never tell. Yeah, it looks good. You look styling. I like it. Yeah, that's a really nice outfit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might not buy it for me because I go to Forever 21, but yeah, I still like it. So my name is CJ, but your roster might say Cynthia or Cynthia Jean or something stupid like that. I hate that name. So CJ, please. And I'm Maria, and I like to read and write. Okay, that's it.
So those are your kids. So that's essentially what we want to do with that demo. Just so that we get everyone. Oh, okay. So they don't get shocked when they hear Sean and CJ and things like that. So they get a little taste of who they are. So now that you know them, I'm going to go to pause and we'll try this.
So you would say begin scenario.
Begin scenario.
Oh my god. Oh well, I thought maybe we could work together.
Good morning, class. I need your attention. All eyes on me.
I got you, Teach. You got a question? You got your hand raised.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, thank you for giving me your attention. I need everyone to remember the classroom procedures that we've just been taught last week. Can someone raise your hand and tell me what we're supposed to do when we first enter the
we should be doing
classroom?
stuff at the bell ring. That's what we should be doing. We're supposed to be doing our bell ring work, right? That's what we do.
Sean, thank you for raising your hand, but please wait for me to call on you before you answer, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got excited. Sorry.
That's okay, Sean. Please tell me what you're supposed to do as soon as you enter the classroom.
We're supposed to do our bell work, right?
That's exactly right. And how many of you were doing your bell work?
I'm thinking 0, ma'am. We was all just kind of talking.
Thank you, Ed, for being honest. I appreciate your honesty. So let's try this again. In the next 3 minutes.
We get to go home then? We're going to try it again? We get to go home? That'd be cool.
Kevin, what are you supposed to
CJ,
do?
we can go home.
Kevin, what are you supposed to do before you talk?
Oh, my bad. We get to go home?
What are you supposed to do before you talk?
I'm raising my hand. Right there. Look, boom.
And then what are you supposed to do? Wait to be called.
Oh, wait. I got to wait. That's right. My bad.
Thank you, Kevin. What is your question, Kevin?
All right. So you said we can start over. So we got to go back home?
Not exactly. Can you wait and let me finish my directions?
Oh, you got to teach. I'm sorry. My bad. I get excited.
Thank you, Kevin. We're going to start over in that I'm going to give you 3 minutes. And in 3 minutes, I would like for you all to have the bell work completed. And I'm going to set the timer. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm setting the timer. Let's all start on your bell work, please.
What's your bell work? What are you going to do? I'm almost done with mine.
Sean, do you have a question?
Oh, no, I was just asking Ed if he was doing okay.
Okay, the bell work is on the board, Sean.
Oh, okay. Hey, girl.
CJ, can you and I have a
Hang on your phone.
conversation, please?
Hang on your phone.
CJ? CJ,
Yeah.
do you remember what our cell phone policy is?
That we should be allowed to use it at all times.
That's our cell phone policy or your cell phone policy?
Well, since you're here and I'm here, wouldn't it be our policy?
No, because that's the only policy that you are following. Our policy, which is the school's policy, is that cell phones are not supposed to be in use during class time, but you can use it when you go to lunch. So can you just keep your cell phone put away and wait until lunch to do any kind of texting that you need to do?
Okay, well, my mom's really sick, so she kept calling and texting, but I can turn it off.
Thank you very much, and get started on your bell work. You got about 2.5 more minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me turn it off. And, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought I turned it off. It didn't turn off. Sorry.
Okay, so let's pause there.
That is crazy. Well, and it's nerve-wracking because everybody's watching you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you were in there alone, you would be more comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
Whoever
how did that
needs to
feel
be
for
first, I
everyone?
might need to know it.
I felt bad for me. I felt bad for you, David.
It's a lot of pressure on the person doing it.
Did it feel right about where you wanted it to be?
Yes.
Level wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Okay, and please understand that was a level 2.
Wow. See, that
Yeah,
was
when you
plenty.
get to the 3, it gets 3s and 4s. It gets a lot more difficult. Like CJ does not like with a level 2. She did say, she said, "Well, my mom's sick. She's trying to get a hold of me, but that's okay. I'll turn it off."
Right.
So you get that win pretty quickly, but she does give you that excuse first.
Right.
Whereas when you get to your 3s and your 4s, no, it's going to be a lot of fighting to keep that phone.
Right. So that needs
So if
to
that-
be held off for beginning teachers.
Yeah, that's why we like to keep it lower when they're, especially the first time dealing with the avatars, to just, okay, here's a taste of what you can see. Next time you come in, it's going to be a little bit more realistic in what you're going to see with a kid.
Yeah, I see a lot of Kevins. Kevin's pretty on. Middle school, high school. That's Kevin right there.
But we hope that that's most of the practice they need. We hope they don't see the extremes.
Right.
Too often.
I mean, because the majority are like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have some Sean. I mean, I see some Sean's too, but Kevin is that's the character to me that really.
And see, to me, CJ's the one that resonates. Because it's that one kid who can be blatantly disrespectful that can destroy your entire classroom. And especially for
That's
a new
CJ.
teacher. So.
Yeah, that is her to a T. You could have a perfect teacher up here in the simulation,
Right.
and CJ will derail it,
Well,
or
and I
at
think
least
it's
do
important
everything she
for-
can.
And teachers need to understand that there are going to be some behaviors at the top of the pyramid that, even though they're doing everything right, may not work.
And so if we tell them to go to the office, are they going to say they can't do that?
If it's a power struggle where you're talking to CJ, I honestly tend to just argue with him. No, I'm not leaving. No, physically you're not allowed to touch me, so I'm gonna stay right here. You can call my mom and ask her to come take me out, but she's not gonna come. And then Sean will jump in if it's not de-escalating. Sean can come in. Actually, your principal said you weren't allowed to do that. So, I mean, she technically has to stay here, or she'll get in trouble.
And that's how we know it's not something the avatar can do.
Right.
Okay. That was cool.
Alrighty, I think this scenario is pretty much done. That's as long as you get me what the norms are or what the expectations are, then anytime you want to do this one's easy.
So where do we put those norms and expectations on the template?
Wherever you want. If you want to put it in the challenge,
Okay.
that's fine too, as long as I can see it.
Okay. All right.
Arts and materials.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's easy. It's just defining materials.
That's
It's
right.
just right there.
Like, what does he need after we go through everything?
Are we gonna do challenge two? Because I want one of these other girls
did
to
it.
come up here.
You did it.
Oh, I went
You did
through
it.
one and two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you did them both.
You did it.
That was CJ. No.
And that's how it'll work. That's how it'll
Okay.
work. It'll
I got you.
we'll start
That's
doing that,
right.
and then CJ breaks out her phone.
See, I just thought he was really just.
Can we do it again and you miss and you do the miss?
I'm gonna let one of them do it and miss. How about that?
Okay.
I just want to see what it looks like.
One of y'all get up there and miss it.
Here's I'm trying to because we do want to keep it to the challenge number 2. So the level, the behavior level will probably stay the same. Except when they're doing something, let's just say it's not going to get angry. It's not going to stop immediately. That's going to be the only difference. When they miss, Sean will continue to not raise his hand.
But it's
That
gonna
type of
cause the teacher to get frustrated
Right.
if she's not. Yeah. So there.
But if we have it at a level 2, especially if it is their first time, I'm not gonna ramp it up based on their behavior or their misses. I'm just gonna keep doing it until they get the point. It's like I don't want to scare anyone off.
Yeah. No, we don't want to increase our teacher turnover rate.
Yeah, really.
Or have any anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
So if you want to look at it, we'll see what it looks like. At a miss, we can do it.
I think that answers the question, what it would look like.
Yeah, it's just going to be just more of the same. It's just not going to stop immediately because they didn't do it properly, and let's just say it wasn't stern enough for them to go, hey, knock it off.
So if they're doing really, really poorly, and I guess I'm going to learn this in the facilitator part. If they're doing really, really poorly, do we just say like session paused and you know we want to stop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the best thing. Pause session. If they're doing poorly, pause it and then, give them a couple of notes. And I'm listening. So the notes you give them, I can hear. And I go, okay, so we're going to take it back to the beginning. Or we're going to take it right when CJ brings out her phone. So what's a better way to say that instead of going, CJ, put away your damn phone? Which I've had happen. Yeah. I've had someone to tell Sean, would you just shut up already? And Sean starts crying, and because he's sensitive. So then they pause. Okay, what did we do wrong?
That is so funny.
All of our East Carolina people have left the room, so we're not really sure what we're supposed to do next.
Oh, okay.
We're home alone.
I was under the impression that we would probably be taking a lunch break at 12:10, but let me text them to make sure.
Okay.
Just to see, because this is the only scenario you have. Is that correct?
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
correct.
Okay.
Well, there's another one.
Can
that's
you tell
eligible.
us, well, while we're sitting here waiting, can you tell
Oh,
us what a parent-teacher conference one might look like?
I can tell you what it looks like. I can't show you because we'd have to re-log in.
Oh, okay.
But I can tell you. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm texting.
Adults, they're adult avatars. It's all those.
What
I'm trying to
do? Okay, so the adult avatar you can have George or Stacy. And if a parent-teacher conference if it's George, it's just my voice, so you'll hear me. So it's in an office. George is sitting in an office, and you can come in depending on what. Again, it's depending on the level and what the situation is. We have a lot of them. There's one session that we have with Stacy, who most times is playing Ed's mom, and there's one that we use a lot. It's Ed was in a fight, so they come in and Stacy. Stacy's confused. I don't know why you bring me here. Is he okay? What's going on? Well, Ed was in a fight. What? Ed doesn't fight. He's one of the best kids out there. We teach him not to fight. Well, what happened was someone was picking on another kid. He tried to stop it. It escalated, and he punched the kid in the face. So then what we tell the teachers that are in the simulation, it's like, and your policy is if a punch is thrown, they're suspended for 3 days. If it's an actual fight, both parties. So now Stacy starts arguing about, well, he was stopping bullying because your teachers obviously aren't doing their job. Why is he being punished for sticking up for a student? What kind of message are you sending? So that's how those things kind of happen. Can happen at least.
That's very accurate.
So yeah, and a lot of times it's with a lower level, it can be very amicable. Stacy can be in there, and it's just hey, we're just going to go over a progress report. Oh, okay. And then we can say things if in a lower level, there's going to be pushback, but it's going to be out of concern and not why aren't you doing your job? It could be more of, oh, well, that doesn't seem like Ed he normally does well at home with what am I doing wrong? What's going on? What can we do to help him? Those type of things. That's usually what, and then we have also, we have teacher administrator conferences that we can use the adults for. I've had a lot of those where I play a teacher. George is a teacher who there's a specific talk time. They wanted, talking 40% of the time, teaching or participation 60% of the time, and George is talking 80% of the time in the classroom. And so you have to have that meeting with the teachers like, listen, we want more participation. Well, these kids don't even get it really. So, I'm teaching Shakespeare. They don't know. And I did Shakespeare in college. So I'm just showing them, I'm doing more monologues for them. So it's more dealing with a teacher in that aspect.
Gotcha.
You're giving, I can hear, and then we can resume session wherever you want. I'm like an Etch-a-Sketch. We can start over. We can do whatever you want. So I will go to pause, and then when you're ready, you say begin scenario.
What do we do? So I'm gonna have them start, and you're gonna teach a new lesson. What do you teach? What do you normally teach?
It's been so long, I don't know.
What? So, what do you think you're gonna teach this class?
Just roll with it, TC.
Life cycle.
Gotcha, life cycle.
In middle school.
Middle school life cycles.
Dangerous.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I was about to say that's way too much fun.
Not helpful here.
Evolution.
No.
Come on.
How about classroom rules?
Yeah, let's just in school.
Yeah, classroom
How
rules.
about that?
There we go.
Can you handle that?
Yeah.
All right, classroom rules. All right. So we're gonna do classroom rules. All right, and begin simulation. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. Welcome to the 8th grade. I am so excited to have you in class today, and we are going to start off by talking about some classroom rules. How many of you play sports? Anybody in the room play sports? Anybody play?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Ah, Ed, you play sports. What sports do you play?
I play basketball.
You
and I
play.
play soccer with my little brothers and sisters.
You play basketball and you play soccer with your brothers and sisters. When you play basketball, are there any rules in the game? Are there any rules that you
yes,
all
ma'am.
follow? What are some of the
Yes, ma'am.
rules
There's
that you
tons of
play?
Well, in an actual game, like you can't foul,
Okay.
and You know, there's a shot clock. We got to make sure we shoot before a certain clock that times out. There's we can only have 5 players on the court.
Okay.
There's a bunch of rules, man.
There's a bunch of rules. Well, you gave about 4 rules that I heard just a few moments ago. Anybody else play sports in the group? Sean, what do you play?
I don't really play any sports. My mom says I have the athletic ability of a rock.
You know what? I'm right there with you. I don't play sports either, but I watch a lot of sports. Do you watch sports? You watching sports on TV? Okay. What do you see on TV?
I like to watch Ed play basketball. He's really good. He's like super good. Like I think one day he's gonna make it to the NBA. He's really, really good.
All right, good. So you watch sports, Ed's play sports. How about CJ? CJ or Sean or Maria, do you all watch or play sports?
I like watching football because their pants are super tight. They look
And there's a reason.
Girl, you are crazy. You gotta stop, girl. I'm sorry, Teach. She's just messing around. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, get us back on track. How about you, Sean? How about you, Kenny? Kevin. I'm learning your names.
Me and Sean are almost identical twins.
Thank you for rolling with me. Kevin. How about you? Do you watch or play sports? Yes.
Yeah, hey, before we keep going though, I like that outfit. I like the green and the blue and everything. I like it.
All right.
I'm sharp dressed too.
Yes, you are.
What?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right.
All right. So I play baseball. That's my sport. I like playing baseball.
And the rules. What rules? What are some rules in baseball?
All right. So we got. It kind of changes though, because it's 7 innings right now, because we're not old enough yet to play 9 innings, but we play 7 innings. There's 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay. Yes.
4 balls. You get a walk.
Yeah.
It ain't like kickball. You can't throw the ball at them and then they're out.
Okay,
I mean, technically they might be out if you hit them in the head. They'll be out.
Well, we're going to do it the right way. Okay. All right. So, all right. And Maria, do you watch or play sports?
Not really.
No, not really. Okay. Hopefully this year in middle school, you'll have a chance to watch or see some of your classmates play. But just like you have rules in sports, we have rules in our classroom. And you all have done really well with the first one, and that is to listen to others.
Turn off your phone, CJ. It's blowing up. Turn off your phone.
Is that phone out here? That actually is rule number 2. CJ, you are helping us with rule number 2. Can you put that away for us, please?
Yeah, I just put it away. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for putting your phone away. That will help a lot. There will be times during the year where we will use our cell phones, but there are times where I'm going to need you to put it away so that we can go ahead and handle what we need to. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks for rolling with me.
Stop simulation.
She's like, I'm
She's like, and then next we're gonna do.
We changed our name to Gates.
And then we're doing gates. And somebody over here is gonna be working on the scenario as we work on it in Google Docs. Is that you with the laptop?
Okay.
Well, as it gets tweaked and altered slightly. And so I need you up here. Ali, are you here?
I am.
Are
you here?
I gotta write some notes.
Well, it's 3:00. And did you see those beautiful cupcakes out there?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm in here. So I have to go out and put one somewhere.
Can you see what the bell rings?
Yeah, okay.
Do y'all want to give him do you want to give me a synopsis of what your scenario is? Because I don't know at all what it is. I haven't looked at it at all. Are you doing the counseling?
No, we're not going to do that for this one.
Okay.
We are doing a beginning teacher.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first day of school. Paul, what else did we put? Because I don't know if you changed it up from what we talked about. Let me read it. First day of school. And the first challenge is going to be the teacher successfully delivering classroom rules and procedures. And then the second challenge, teachers will begin their instruction and begin to cover the unit's objective. So we're kind of looking at classroom management.
Okay. And are they teaching on any subject, like brand new unit, kind of?
It's a new unit.
Okay.
There's
So-
social study.
Okay. So are you expecting that the kids know anything about whatever they're going to be teaching? Have any background knowledge?
They
No.
have any background knowledge?
No.
Okay.
Well, then this one's easy.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was just reading it. I'm like, oh, so this is just a basic first day of school. You're getting to know the kids. You're setting up the rules, and then you are going to introduce new content.
Correct.
And I was thinking, I had thought in my head kind of more 7th gradish, because 6th graders, they're probably a little bit more nervous, so they're kind of quiet and just like kind of maybe more listening a little bit. Your 8th graders are a little bit older, so they kind of know. 7th grade, they're like feeling themselves a little bit.
Perfect.
So that was just my thought.
So what level would you like this to be behavior-wise?
5.
Two.
Sock it to them.
No, I think
Is it the first time that these people will be in the simulator?
I've never been here before in my life.
But he's
I've never
No,
been in
not
this
not
room
you, but
until right now.
not you. The people that we're going to actually do it with.
Oh,
The teachers.
yes, it'll be first time.
Okay, yeah. So we want a 1 or a 2. We
Yeah,
want to keep
right.
it low.
That's what I was thinking.
And in order to save time, this is something I've done a lot. This exact scenario that you are about to teach or that you're wanting to do. This is one that is in the bank. So there's really no need to workshop it. This is a standard scenario. It is a beginning, teaching a new unit and, introducing parameters and things like that. So this one, unless there's something special, I don't want to waste your time that you want to add in there, but this is pretty easy. This is pretty standard. I just go off of the teacher.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and run through and just give them the experience.
Okay.
Does that follow me or is that in stationary at camera?
It's station.
Okay. Because I move.
Well, it's got a pretty good angle.
Angle, okay.
Okay, so this is, we'll go through it. This is your first day of
I don't know
school.
kids' names.
Perfect.
You weren't here this.
That's fine too.
Oh, I see they're right here. Sean, Ed, Mariah, and
Maria,
and CJ, and
call her
Kevin.
Cynthia Jean.
And if this is the first day of school, maybe you wouldn't know their names.
True.
All right, you ready? All right, begin simulation.
Just start when I need to start. Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Huggins, and I am your North Carolina teacher for this year. And I'll just start. Yes, move in the way. Sean, can I help you?
No, I was just saying yay.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
You're excited to be here, me too.
So, since I've introduced myself, could you guys introduce yourselves?
Oh, can I go first?
Go right
Can I
ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay, my name is Sean. That's with EA, not an AW. And, okay, that's it. That's all you need.
All right, awesome. And?
Me, sir? Want me to go next?
I couldn't hear what he said. Say again?
Would you like me to go next?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. My name is Ed. Sir.
All right, Ed. It's very nice to meet you, Ed. In the back?
All right, so I don't know who you point at, but I'm gonna say me. My name is Kevin. You're welcome. You got me in your class.
I feel honored, Kevin. You know that? I am so honored. And what about next to you?
Oh, that's CJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. God, wait.
CJ.
My name is CJ.
Nice
On
to
your
meet you.
paper, it might say Cynthia or Cynthia Jean, but I seriously hate that name, so CJ, please.
CJ is perfect. That's what I would use. And lastly,
My name's Maria. Thank you.
okay, Maria, good to meet you too. Well, what I want to start out with today is something that is common to all things in history, and that would be the 3 G's. Has anyone ever heard of the 3 G's? God, glory, and gold? Nope.
Isn't that kind of like a military thing?
Well,
That
some
sounds
of
like a
it
military
is.
thing.
Some of it is military. That would be the glory of it. It speaks about people in history that do things, events for one of three things. Either for their God, they do it for their religion, they do it for the glory of themselves or their country, or they do it for personal finance or for the finance of their country. So this was the reason why the first explorers ventured from Europe and came to the new country, or what we know today as North America. We're going to specifically look at North Carolina. Does anyone know where in North Carolina the first colony was established?
Is that like, no, I forgot. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
While you're back there, CJ, did you Google that for me and let me know which colony was established in North America?
Do you want the first one in North America or North
I'm sorry,
Carolina?
what first one in North Carolina? I'm sorry. Do that for me if you would. And tell the whole class, where was the first colony established in North Carolina? First, colony.
Okay, give me a second. There's so much spam.
Permanent settlement. It's on a river. Named after a king.
I'm trying to find it. It's weird. Is it? No, that one's not it. That's not Roanoke.
Jamestown. I bet that's probably the first one that came up, right? So that is Jamestown.
No, the first one, when I did it, I Googled the wrong thing, I guess.
Because
the first thing that came up, it just kept coming up, history of North Carolina, and then something else, and then Tar Heels.
Oh, so the Tar Heels, huh? Well, that's actually the slogan of North Carolina. But anyway, it was established in Jamestown, was the first permanent settlement that was here. Did anyone ever heard of Pocahontas? Did you see the Disney movie Pocahontas?
Oh, yes, sir.
That was pretty cool, huh?
Yes, sir. She was.
Well, a lot of that movie is
translator.
Do what?
She was a translator, right?
She worked as a translator. She sure did. And about the only thing in that Disney movie that is correct is actually her name, Pocahontas.
Wait, what? That whole thing's lie?
Well, it's not a lie, but it's what Disney calls poetic license. That poetic license means that they kind of take a story and kind of craft it where it would be interested to the audience that would be seeing it. Pocahontas.
It's kind of like based loosely on a true story. That's what they say in the beginning of the movie. Based loosely on a true story.
Based on a true story, but not the actual true story. Not the actual true story.
Right.
Okay?
Brake stop simulation?
Thank you. I'm running out of words. I was running out of a lesson.
You skipped the whole rules. I was waiting for the rules to come out.
I forgot.
Yeah, I know.
Totally about the rules. I totally forgot.
That's the first thing I was going to bring up.
Challenge failed.
Got the rules, but that's okay.
Challenge 2 passed, though.
Yes, you got to pass challenge 2.
And I believe Manny told me I didn't particularly have to do challenge 1 to go to challenge 2.
I said sometimes you don't.
There we go. So
How
what
is
did I do
that
right?
wise
What do I do? Y'all now critique? Is that how it works?
Well, so now if you were doing this with a teacher, then the coach would be here telling the teacher that, would you want to talk to the kids about the rules in the classroom?
Right, I forgot that
Those
totally.
kinds of things in a more serious manner,
Right, yes.
would be what you would do.
Okay.
So,
But as for now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Nellie.
I was going to say, as for now, as far as the scenario design goes, that amount of pushback, that amount of stuff, like I brought out CJ's cell phone. She was doing that. Sean was clicking his pen. Those were things that could be moments when the teacher would have to start establishing the rules. It's like, hey, and then he would talk without raising his hand, things like that. So was that amount of pushback about where you want it to be?
Yes, to start with, but then of course we would escalate that as we went on.
Exactly. Perfect.
Okay, so we need to do our scenarios at that level to start with,
Well, you choose when you schedule it as how high you want it to be.
and possibly if we bring another teacher in again, we could escalate it to a higher level. Correct.
Right. If they've gone through it before, and they're like, all right, well, now you're old pro, you're an old hat at this, so.
Right, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are you
You're
ready?
welcome.
All right, so
Come
now
on, y'all.
Okay, so let's take a look at what we're doing. Okay. She was a little angry that I got cut off. So this is going to, Stacy is
a teacher.
okay.
A peer of mine that I'm the instructional coach, but I'm also a teacher as well. So she's one of my peers, but I have to conference with her about maybe being willing to, up her level of Bloom's questioning in her class, and also to try some different differentiation strategies in her classroom. And this would be based on, walkthroughs that I had done through her class, and also through the principal's observations and things he had discussed with me.
Okay. And did you say Bloom's?
Yes.
Okay. Pretend like I'm not a teacher and I have no clue what that is. Hypodermically speaking, I'm only just...
Bloom's taxonomy, it's got different levels of question. You start out, with basic types of questions, like recall questions, but you build them up to analyzing and synthesizing and actually using what they've learned and giving more in-depth, constructive responses.
Okay, would you be able to give me a good synopsis of what that is?
I'll email you a list real quick.
Good. I don't need it for now, but when we get into these type of scenarios and simulations,
So
they may get detailed.
That would need to be added to the scenario.
That would be a material.
That was
the
Yeah.
materials we provide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they want to get into details and ask me, so why didn't you do X part of Bloom's? And I don't have the information. I'm going to go, cause that's why. So I want to make sure I have all the information.
And we may have some teachers that might say that as well.
Okay.
Hopefully not, but possibly.
So this is a meeting that's already been, established. This is what happens. Like
Yeah.
Stacy's not coming in. She just knows. That's what we're going to do. Here's my coach.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay.
Okay.
Love it.
I'm still reading it. I'm just trying to get through. Do we have something specific that Stacy needs help with?
Just differentiation strategies and working on when she's questioning students in class, making sure she's using those higher level of questions, like why. A lot of why questions are higher level instead of
Okay, so
like what is.
Okay, so then she's not doing that.
That's correct.
Okay.
It'd be like all she's doing is having them look up the definitions of the vocabulary words. She's not having them apply them in a situation to know how
Gotcha.
to use.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right.
We'll say this is a science class or something, because that way they can take things and actually apply it and do experiments and things.
Perfect. Well, let's see what happens.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
Okay. Begin session. Hey Stacy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Doing great. I'm so glad we were able to meet today. Mr. Hunter, our principal, and I, we were discussing meeting with you and seeing if I could help you through the instructional coach position to improve some of your questioning skills with your students. And through observations that he has done and some of my walkthroughs, that I thought I could give you some strategies to use to help you.
Okay. Am I
not doing a good job?
No, you're doing awesome. But we just want to make sure that the kids are able to do the application parts of what you're teaching them, because you're teaching, explaining the subject very well. And we just want to make sure that they are able to apply what you are teaching them.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems like they're able to. I ask them a question, and if they get it right, we move on. And it seems like they're getting that. Is something I'm missing?
Now, just when you are asking questions, maybe give them some deeper thinking questions to get them to apply the concepts that you're teaching in science. Like if you're, instead of them recalling definitions, make sure that they're actually able to take it a step further and actually apply that concept so that you know that they have that deep understanding of it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That seems fair enough. I guess in your observations, I haven't been going far enough with that.
Yeah, I think you're doing an awesome job at teaching the concept. We just want to make sure that the kids are taking it that step further. Because on the NC finals, you know that a lot of their questions are having them to apply that knowledge into a deeper question. And I think that will help them tremendously when they get on that test.
Okay. Okay, that's something I guess I mean I guess I can definitely work on.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions of some ways that we could do some things?
Well, I guess since I'm just now hearing, what I need to work on, I don't know that I would be the right person to give you the suggestion. But I guess maybe once I cover a unit and there's a particular subject, maybe we can start throwing in some more experiments.
Okay, that sounds
based
great.
on what we're doing.
That sounds great, because hands-on, that would be great for the kids, and it probably would help a lot of your students that are active sometimes, and they can be involved in the experiments and get that deeper understanding. I think that would be awesome. Okay. Differentiation. How are some ways that you differentiate in your classroom?
Well, as you know, differentiate is it's a different of differentiation. Let's see. How would I do that?
Okay, I have some great resources that I'd be glad to share with you and show you some ways to take the different ideas or concepts and give the students options instead of all of them doing the same thing. All kids learn differently, so we want them to all be able to succeed. So I think it would be great if I'd send you a couple of links I have to some strategies about differentiation. Would that be great?
Yeah, any help would be wonderful. I feel like I try to cater to some of the students that science isn't their, it's not their, main focus. They're not fans of it. They kind of, I guess, I don't want to say zone out, but they're not excited about science. Exactly. So I try to make it a little bit more exciting for them. So I guess, yeah, any help would be great.
Okay. I will get together some resources and send to you. I will also have a good link for the blooms for the different types of questioning. And it actually gives you some different activities that you can do in science to help them further the application in the blooms. So, and what we'll do is we'll meet back maybe in a couple of weeks, and I will come through, and if you want to give me a day that you're planning on maybe doing an experiment or something, I can come in and observe your class and see how things go.
Okay. Well, actually, I have something planned for next Friday. Okay. Yeah, we're doing just a botany experiment with different kinds of splicing with, different beans and things like that. So if you'd like to come in, that'd be great.
Okay, sounds good. And we'll get back in touch and maybe meet again and see how you think things are going, and I can give you my feedback from my observation as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for the feedback.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, and I'm glad that we could meet today.
Me too.
In session.
In session.
In session.
That was great.
That was so good.
Okay, that is Stacy at her lowest.
Yeah, she's usually not that nice. She's
Mom's trying to
She
win her
does.
over. Well, I could tell
She's-
from the first reaction at the beginning.
So depending on your whatever level you want, this would be great for the first time that anyone's been in a simulator. This would be
Right.
great that they get through it. Next time they come in, Stacy thinks, we can ramp it up to a 3, and Stacy thinks, you know what? No, what I'm doing is fine. I think you're using old technology, or anything. She can push back on anything that you're giving her a couple of times, and then finally she's like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
And of course,
But at first she could be argumentative.
yeah, and of course, like if I had been prepared for what I was going to discuss, I would already have these resources and things and more suggestions for her. But since we kind of did it off the cuff today, but that I think it would help, because most of the time when we do instructional walkthroughs, we give feedback to the teachers as well, so they kind of already know ahead of time maybe things they need to work on. So it wouldn't be like bombarded, and they wouldn't be hit with it, face to face for the first time.
You had a really
So-
good approach though. You were very non-threatening,
Right.
try not to like accuse them and stuff.
Right.
I mean, that's what's gonna really depend, that's what's gonna set Stacy off to.
Right, yeah.
Is how they respond to her.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend we work on this scenario? What?
Honestly, just getting me information so that I can respond like a teacher would.
Okay.
And anything that they throw out. So if this is going to revolve around Bloom's taxonomy and differentiation, all that stuff, yeah, if I know that, okay, I'll be golden. And if it's going to be a science,
I'm sorry. Does it
I
have
was
to
gonna
be a specific topic? Like, do you need to know that it's science or?
it would help.
Okay.
Because as you could tell, I was just pulling that experiment out of my butt.
Hey,
Let's try this. Oh no, I don't know if this is right. So yeah, it would be great if we did have a specific subject, so that way I can just be prepared for it.
Maybe stick with science for.
Yeah. That'd be good. Okay, thanks.
No, you're welcome.
So do you have their scenario up?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
Oh, this is another kind of like the last one we just did. Not the one with Stacy, but the one before.
Very interesting to see.
What did you say?
Very shy.
Yeah.
But this picture's not representing a shy pose. You should change.
This morning we got all their.
When you like zone in on her, like when she kind of, like she doesn't like to be
When not, she's out going kind of.
not.
Okay, with this particular scenario,
Okay.
I think I think letting the teachers know right off the bat, this is the first day, so they don't need to know the kids' names necessarily. They can feel free to introduce themselves, get to know the kids right off the bat, and then introduce their expectations. Yeah, and then whatever unit, is it just going to be a random unit that they're going to teach?
Well, I was just going to do the first part where we were just introducing and just going over the procedures of the classroom and the school. Unless you feel I should go into the unit right away.
Whatever you want to do, because challenge 1, challenge 2 will happen on the same session. So if you want to just continue, you can.
Okay.
What is something like in third grade? What is something? What's the first topic that they talk about? I would do something you're familiar with. Because just explain. You're a kindergarten teacher. Can I do it?
Okay. Well, for my subject, it's kind of a little different. I teach kindergarten, so I mean,
Gotcha.
I am the lead mentor, so, I mean, we're a K-8 school, so it would be a variety of different teachers content areas that would be working on.
So just pick something that you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
okay.
that's fine. If it's going to be random or whatever, that's completely fine. As long as the kids don't need to know what it is beforehand. If they're learning it for the first time, that's great.
Yes.
Then I don't need to know. Yeah. So
Right.
then I don't need to know. It'll just be me learning.
Okay.
So, and I'm assuming just like most of these, this is for the first time that the teachers are going to be in the simulator. It'll be a 1 or a 2 level for behavior. And then when they come back in, we'll ramp it up a little bit more. Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, whenever you are ready, you can say begin scenario.
Begin scenario. Good morning, class.
Good morning. How are you?
And welcome to the beginning of the school year.
How come she didn't answer me? She didn't answer me. I said, how are you? She didn't answer me.
I would like to start off by having each of you introduce yourselves and tell a little bit about yourselves. So, the young man right there in the front, in the blue.
Me or
yes.
Ed? We're both kind of blue.
You're both wearing blue, that's right. You, sir, could you please tell me what your name is and a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Sean. That's right, EA, not AW. And I'm in the Boy Scouts, and I have a dog named Chewy. She's the best dog on the planet. Like seriously, if you look in the dictionary under best dog on the planet, it would be a picture of my dog Chewy. She's named after Chewbacca.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And now your neighbor, who's also in blue. Can you please introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Ed Lewis, and I love playing basketball. And when I grow up, I want to be an Air Force pilot like my Uncle James.
Wonderful. Great. In the back there, the young man in the back in the blue and the black.
Oh, there you go. Oh, man, I thought I was going to be last. Say the best for last, but nope, that's all right. My name's Kevin, and I love music. I love being positive. I always feel like if you have good music, how can you be in a bad mood?
Wonderful. Great. And now your neighbor. Miss, can you please tell us what your name is?
Yeah. My name is CJ. And on your paper, it might say Cynthia, but seriously, I hate that name. So if you could call me CJ. Also, are we going to get those awesome lanyards too? Like, are we going to have to wear names too? Like that around your neck?
You actually will get to have some lanyards, and I'll explain that to you in a little bit.
Okay. Okay. So, what I like to do for fun, a little bit about me. I love to go shopping, and I like to go movie hopping. Like, if I could sit in a movie theater all day long and just go from movie to movie. That's my favorite.
What kind of movies do you like?
My favorites are the free ones because I don't have to pay. But scary movies are the best. Yeah.
Favorite was free.
Okay, and last but not least, could you please tell us about yourself?
Okay. My name is Maria, and I like to read and write and draw. Okay.
Wonderful. So, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over some classroom rules. If I'm asking you a question, you're going to have to raise your hand.
Yeah, that's what you do. You raise your hand and then you tell the answer. That's what you do. I know that one.
However, you wait until you're called on. So, Sean, you have to wait until you raise your hand, and then you would wait until I call on you. Okay?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's going to be tough for him. He's really excited. He likes to answer questions. He'll get it, though. It's tough for him, though.
Kevin, before you said your response out loud, what could you have done in order to be talking? What should you have done?
I guess I could raise my hand, but I thought we were on the same subject, so I didn't know. My bad.
So, as we're talking about rules, why could somebody raise their hand and tell me why do we have rules? Ed?
just to make sure that it's not everything is like chaos and stuff, so we can have order.
That's right. That's right. Very good. So, in class, when I talk to you and you have I'm looking for a response, you raise your hand. We also have what's called turn and talk, where I would like if you would turn and talk to your neighbor. And actually, I'm going to count to 3. You're going to turn, talk to your neighbor, and tell them one thing that you did this summer. 1, 2, 3. Turn and talk to your neighbor. Maria, can you please turn and talk to CJ, please? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Can you all please stop talking? And can somebody please raise their hand and tell me one thing that they've done this summer? Sean.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to know what I did, or do you want to know what Ed did?
What did you do?
Oh, okay. So I took my dog Chewy. We did an obstacle course camp where she learned how to run through the obstacle course, and she got a gold medal.
And can you also now tell me one thing that Ed did?
Yeah. He did something really cool. He went to a basketball camp in Cleveland, and some famous basketball guy, man, what's his name? I forgot his name. It was a famous guy.
It was LeBron James. LeBron James.
Oh, yeah. LeBron James, thank you. LeBron James. He came to the camp.
CJ, can you tell me what either Kevin or Maria did this summer?
Yeah. Maria, she really likes to read, and what she did this summer was read the entire, it was something nerdy. What is it? It wasn't the Harry Potter, because she already read that, but it was the one with Katniss. Gosh, what is it? Katniss, and she does a bow and arrow.
Well, why don't you ask her? CJ, can you ask?
It was the Hunger Games. Yeah, see, it was nerdy. The Hunger Games.
Okay. So one of the things that we're going to start to work on and learn is we're going to start learning about counting objects. So up on the board over here, I'm going to start having some dots.
Oh man, we need to get some dots. I love those Dippin' Dots. That's the best ice cream. We should do that.
Oh, yeah, those are the best. It's so delicious. I had some when I went to Orlando. It was at Disney. It was so good.
Okay. Can somebody raise their hand and tell me how many dots I just put on the board? Maria, how many dots did I put on the board?
6.
She said, very good. 6. Very good. Now, when we are learning about counting objects, there's different ways to count. We can learn about counting. We count with our eyes. We also can learn by touching. What I want you to do now is I want you to think of a number between 6 and 10, and I want you to draw that many dots. So take a minute and draw either 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 dots. Okay, Kevin, how many dots did you draw?
I did 3.
Okay. I was looking for a number between 6 and 10.
Oh man, see, I messed up. I'm sorry. I thought I said 1 and 10. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Ed, how many dots did you draw?
I did 10, ma'am.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
All right, end simulation.
Okay, how'd that feel?
It felt real. It really did. I felt like I was literally in the classroom with the students.
Good. Yay, mission accomplished.
Yes, I did notice that. And I guess I could have I should have acknowledged it. But yes, that was something that, because I know that would be also one of the rules of the saving the cell phone to later, but.
I just didn't know if you would not notice it or just.
No, well, I heard the little, and I chose to just kind of move on. I mean, maybe if it would have did the ringtone or other stuff like that, I might have paid more attention to it, but I tried to just focus on that other stuff, so.
So great. So as far as the scenario goes, you guys are happy with that?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to change? Anything add?
Oh, is he still open? Yes. Oh, well, if I would have a student like Fernando or something like that, how would you describe her?
If you had a student with behavior issues, the school that we work at, we have some students that have outbursts.
Okay.
How would we write that into a scenario?
So you're wanting to change, I guess, the dynamic of a certain avatar, a student.
Yes.
I would put that in the scenario when it says, gosh, I guess avatars.
Okay.
So we've got grades 3 to 6, level 2.
And in there, add in possibly.
Yeah, add in, like, let's just say Ed.
Would have some outbursts or Kevin or somebody. Yeah. Okay.
And describe what kind of outburst you're looking for. Is this?
We have some, I guess you would say, students that have anger issues.
Okay.
That have kind of outbursts and not always provoked.
Okay.
That we have a couple of grade levels with 2 to 3 students of that nature in their grade levels. And so that's going to be very difficult we're going to have beginning teachers having to deal with that. And it'd be much better to have them deal with it in a situation in here for the first time rather than in the classroom.
Perfect. Yeah, we can put that and just make sure that you explain like basically what you just said to me.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so like Kevin, such a great kid, but every now and then he goes from 0 to 60.
Yes,
Yeah. Like I think Kevin would be the right kid to do it.
Yes.
Because he's got such a nice personality, but anything can trigger him, let's just say.
Absolutely. Yes. I could put another name to him.
Yeah, so that way, just find a reason for him to have an outburst. And it may not even pertain to him.
Yes, exactly. That would be perfect.
And then if we
Okay.
had students who had English as their second language, we could, like, for example, if we had Ed as somebody who spoke primarily a different language, we could just put it in there and how he's learning English for the first time.
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's a little caveat to that. If it's something where he's not going to be required to speak his original language, sure.
Okay.
I can speak some Spanish. I'm not fluent. I speak a little Spanish. I can do a lot of accents. If you'd like them.
Okay.
But as long as they are not required to speak in a different language, yeah, I can totally
But it would
mold
be more
them.
of the misunderstanding.
Yes, I can put in an accent and make it seem like I don't understand or
Yes.
yeah.
Have some questions. Yes. That would be perfect.
Yeah, and that would be something if it's going to be something that's really out there, I'd need to know that information as soon as possible, like with as much time for me to prepare that.
Okay. All right, and how soon do you need scenarios in? So for example, I'm giving just a random date, but if we were to say want to come in September 6th at 4 p.m., when would you need the scenario?
If it, I'd like it, I would like it like 2 weeks to a week.
Okay.
And there's the timeline that's in that code book.
Mhm.
That
Yes.
gives you a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's always good to just verify everything. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So what are you looking to achieve in this scenario?
Basically, the students are working together, and what starts off as a conversation about the word escalates into an argument, and the teacher is responsible for de-escalating and getting the class back refocused.
Okay. Okay.
We ended up with the whole crew down here. I was looking at two.
Do we know what the argument is about?
One student is saying that the other student's idea will not work for their project, and the student is getting defensive because of that.
Okay. And also, what will the project be?
Just writing. It's not anything in particular.
Would it be okay to come up with something just so they have details in the middle of the argument? Like if it's writing, we're writing a paper on Romeo and Juliet. That way when if let's just say it's CJ and Kevin, they're arguing back and forth. The teacher brings them in and says, what was the argument about? I can say, well, I was telling her that Mercutio, actually was the reason all this thing happened. I thought we should write something about that. And she wants to write, more about, Romeo and Juliet, which is all love. And that's not the whole thing about this. Let's talk about the others, where we can get in specifics.
Yes. Can I use that one, or you want me to create something?
If you want to use Romeo and Juliet, that's fine.
Okay, we can go with that for the purpose of this activity.
Okay. Note to Ali, suggest plays that you know more about. Okay. Now this is going to be a little tricky.
Okay.
Here, I'll bring up the kids just so you can see it.
Now, is there something that they might be working on together that would be more encompassing of your 5th to 12th grade classes? So is there like, do they work on a student, I'm trying to think, like a student pep day or some kind of, like an activity almost that they work on together because I'm thinking that an English teacher would jump on a Romeo and Juliet scenario, but a math teacher wouldn't. So is there something that we could put in here that might be more encompassing?
That's generic.
Yeah, but that
we can do something like homecoming, like
something,
designing a float for homecoming.
Yeah, something that's generic but still can be detailed. Wouldn't that be sort of? What do you think of that, Ali?
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, maybe a skit, a homecoming skit.
For the pep rally.
Yeah, for the pep rally or
a play or some kind of something. Yeah. Or for the Christmas pageant. I don't know what you guys.
And I'm thinking just for the purpose because it would be difficult. I'm looking at it because when they turn and talk, they work together as a group. This is what that looks like. Oh my God. And you can kind of hear talking and stuff, but I can't. It's going to be. I'd have to quickly start going in, and then turn, and then back and forth. But if it's something where we had to work together as a group and we came in. And let's just say that's the point of the classroom. So, all right, today we're going to talk about the project that we've been working on. Kevin and Ed, or Sean and Ed, you guys had that. How'd that go? And then they can do that. We can have, and then CJ and Kevin, Or CJ, Kevin, and Maria, you guys were all together. What do you guys think? Well, we don't really have one because Kevin is stupid and didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that can spark the argument.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I think that'll work better because watching what you did with them talking in groups will kind of defeat the activity that we're trying to get
Right.
teachers to see.
And maybe we'll just say it was Kevin, Ed, or Sean, Ed, and Maria were working together, and CJ and Kevin were just by themselves together. So that way we don't have to include Maria in that group.
Okay.
In the argument.
Who are the ones who can stand up?
Sean and Maria. Yeah, because Sean can stand and Maria can stand. Now, if you're going to focus on de-escalating Kevin and CJ, let's just say, on de-escalating the situation, I'm trying to think what can get both of them better. We might be able to do that, where I focus in on CJ, have her talking, and then I can sit there and have Kevin right there talking too. However, if I turn my head that way, can make it seem like I'm looking at you. To where you're having both of them right there, back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Something like that.
Okay.
Can their seats be changed? No.
No.
I was just wondering if they could.
But they like their seats so much, that's what they were glued to.
They like them so much.
Mm-hmm. So I guess, and then the goal of this is just to de-escalate the situation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what I can do we know, did we come up with the idea? What was it going to be for real, their project?
We're going to do a skit for the homecoming pep rally.
Perfect. Okay. I just thought of an idea for Sean. What he would like to do.
All right, you ready to give it a try?
I guess, is it okay now?
Ollie, you ready to give it a try?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to write down what they would be arguing about.
Okay.
Like I've got the idea for Sean, Ed, and Maria, what they can talk about.
Ali's used to working a couple of hours with us a day. We've really taxed him today, 9 to 4. Running on fumes at this point. We didn't even give him any cupcakes or barbecue.
You're right. I have to work until midnight tonight too. That would have come in handy.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Okay, so
Yeah. Nowhere else on the good night.
do we want to use your specific school, or do we want to make up a school and a mascot?
We are the Bears, Perfect County High School
Okay.
Bears.
The Bears. Okay. Perfect.
I bet that happens a lot. Yes.
Do you have a rival?
Yes, Bertie County.
What are they?
They are
Falcons?
the Falcons. Okay. Awesome.
Close out.
All right. What is that? Okay, got it. Let's see how this flies. You guys want to give it a shot?
Ready? Okay, she's coming on up.
All right, ready and begin simulation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone today?
I'm doing super well. We're super excited. We have an amazing idea. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be so awesome.
Well, great. I'm excited to hear it. I know we are definitely ready for this rivalry game against Bertie. Are we ready to beat those Falcons?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are definitely gonna beat them, like always.
All right, great, Ed. I'm glad to hear that. Well, as you all know, you were charged with the task of creating a skit for the pep rally that we're going to be having in about 2 days at 2 o'clock. So, Sean, let me hear what you have done so far on your part.
Okay, well, just to let you know, it wasn't just me. Maria and Ed gave us some good insight and stuff. We came up with something really fun. Okay, so picture it. It's Star Wars versus Marvel, because Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, and I love the X-Men. So that's gonna be Star Wars. That's us. We're the Bears. We're Star Wars. So we got Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, and they're going after the Bears, or the Falcons, who are gonna be We're gonna have Magneto and Doc Ock, who are the bad guys in Marvel. So they're battling it out, right? Okay. So then Maria came up with a great idea. Maria, tell. Yeah, and then I thought of maybe Katniss and Harry Potter come in for us after this big battle, and then they save the day. Katniss shoots an arrow through the goalpost, destroying their mascot, and Harry Potter does the death spell, and it completely annihilates their team.
Wow, annihilates the team. I love that. What great vocabulary you're using, Maria. Thank you too, Sean. CJ, how about you? Where are you at in your part of the task?
We're nowhere because Kevin has nothing but stupid ideas, and we didn't come up with anything.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you didn't think they were stupid when we were talking. They were good ideas, miss. I ain't gonna lie. They were good ideas. I came up with something, but she just wants to do something stupid because she don't know anything about real life.
Wow. Okay, let's not.
That is not true. That is not true.
CJ and Kevin, let's not use the word stupid. If we have a difference of opinion, that's okay. So, CJ, let me hear an idea that you had about the skit.
I I had a really good idea. I wanted to have the Kardashians versus Jersey Shore. Um, to where we have like Khloe Kardashian coming out, and she's like a damsel in distress, and then like Snooki is coming out and being all Snooki like, for the Falcons, so everyone hates him, and then like like JWoww comes out and everyone's just like boos them, and then the Kardashians come out, and then I thought it would be so awesome for Kim to come out with like a giant booty, and then she like swishes to the side and knocks them out. That's what I thought of. I thought that was so awesome.
Man, that's so stupid, man. We don't even watch that stuff no more. Don't nobody watch that no more.
Well, Kevin, that show must be important to CJ if she's bringing it up, so we have to be respectful of other people's ideas. Now, let me hear from you, because I know you have something exciting for us.
Man, what I was thinking was like music, man. We get the band involved. Like I was gonna get some of the band members to be involved and stuff, and we're gonna have like a battle, like an East Coast, West Coast type thing. Like maybe, because like they just came out with that whole, they got the Biggie movie and they got Tupac movie, and I thought maybe that would be a good rivalry to have. We have them there, but they come together just to destroy the Falcons. And I thought we get some music going, we get some dances. I thought, man, that would be all right. That'd be nice. But nah, we got to do something stupid like that whole Kardashian thing. That's just messed up.
Okay, let's review again. We're not going to use the word stupid, okay? It sounds like you both have a rivalry in common, right along with Sean and Ed. So I think that we're all headed in the right direction, but we just need to figure out how to combine the booty swishing with the band and the East Coast, West Coast, Notorious, and All Eyes on Me.
That's what I was saying. I was saying we could do both. God, but he just got really upset and he got mad and he started calling me stupid and names and things.
Yeah, because look, I just think I got a good vision. I got a good view, and nobody watches that stuff no more. I mean, come on, man.
Well, again, the Kardashians may subscribe to a different group than Tupac and Biggie. So again, we have to make sure that we're respectful of everyone's ideas and we find a way to combine both. If we're going to have booty swishing and we're going to have music, that sounds like a good place for us to start. What do you think?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like if you're gonna have a good booty switch, you need to have some music back there. So I get it. I mean, we could combine that, but I don't want to make the whole thing about the Kardashians and Jersey Shore. I want to put some substance to it.
Right, and that's where the music comes in. We're gonna have some music with sustenance so that we can all move as we talk about, like Maria said,